This week on eNEWS, Lethbridge College celebrated the college's new Indigenous display in Center Core, the Kodiak cross-country teams are getting ready for ACAC Provincials, and Lethbridge is getting into the spooky Halloween spirit.
Hello and welcome to eNEWS. I'm Paige Channon.
And I'm Dara Kendall, and here's today's top story. Lethbridge College unveiled a new display in Center Core during the recent Indigenous Celebration Day. The display was designed to represent the growth the school has had in the awareness and encouragement of Indigenous cultures on campus. Megan McCoy has the story.
The second annual Indigenous Celebration Day took place at Lethbridge College last week. The event featured presentations from First Nations, Métis, and Inuit community members and college representatives, as well as traditional music, dancing, and food from different Indigenous cultures. The college believes that hosting events like this are vital to the growth of relations between the school and the Indigenous cultures that are represented there. The college says it intends to continue to encourage Indigenous students and cultures on campus. At last year's Indigenous Celebration Day, the college received its own traditional Blackfoot name. The name translates to stonepipe, which represents a peace bond of honesty and integrity. This year, college president and CEO Paula Burns was presented with her own traditional Blackfoot name as well. The name translates to Eagle Whistle Woman. It was bestowed on Burns by a college grandparent, Peter Wiesel Mockingson, who says it's appropriate because of Burns' efforts to help both the global and local community. Burns says that the honor is humbling and that it's the responsibility of the institution to continue recognizing Indigenous culture.
Our role as an educational institution in the Truth and Reconciliation, educating others about what it means, and I think we just play a really important role.
The college intends to offer Indigenous Celebration Day every year, as well as offer events and workshops to teach students more about Indigenous cultures. For eNEWS, I'm Megan McCoy.
Any students with questions about future Indigenous events can obtain information on the Lethbridge College website or by contacting Indigenous Services by phone or in person.
Students at Lethbridge College are texting less than you might think. With the convenience and popularity of social media messaging services on the rise, traditional text messaging is becoming less widely used among young people. Michael Rodriguez has the story on the shift in communication.
With more and more millennials moving to social media as their main digital communication outlet, we're witnessing the slow demise of the SMS text message. With a variety of different options for interpersonal communications on cell phones, texting is falling out of favor with younger people. Lethbridge College's chair for the School of Business, Stephen Graham, says cross-platform use is a big pull for social media messaging.
It's available on more than one platform. With SMS or text messaging, it's pretty much limited to phone.
A total of 18.7 billion texts are sent worldwide every day, while WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger alone combine for more than 60 billion messages a day. This number increases even more when you consider other social media messaging services. Lethbridge College student Timothy Sanderson says that social media is his primary method of communication, but texting still has its place.
Mostly social media, but I kind of like switch between the two because I have some friends that just don't use social media at all. Yeah.
Could you round it up to a percent, like 60% this, 40% that?
I think about 80-20.
A 100-student poll at Lethbridge College showed that 60% use Snapchat or Facebook Messenger as their primary messaging service. Another 24% use texting, 10% use Instagram, and 6% use other services.
I think the big difference really is the flexibility of where your messages can go is just very appealing.
For eNEWS, I'm Michael Rodriguez.
Even with texting on the downfall, according to a study by Gallup.com, it is still the #1 used form of communication between adults under 50.
Lethbridge College's Center of Aquaponics Excellence is moving forward with new applied research projects. Project manager and lead scientist Nick Savadov is considered one of the founding fathers of aquaponics. Chase Maley connected with him and others in the center that's changing how we feed the world. He's standing by with more. Chase?
It's one of the leading programs in Canada, not only for its research, but also its technology. I had the chance to check it all out. Aquaponics is the cycle of waste from fish, which in turn supplies the nutrients for the plants, which then purifies the water. One of the projects scientist Ziad Kiari is studying is the biochar filtration.
The bamboo, and then we heat it without oxygen, which turns out into carbon mass, which is called basically charcoal.
Penny Takahashi is an instructor and aquaponics scientist at Lethbridge College. Takahashi says Lethbridge College is very fortunate to have the caliber of scientists, and some of the technology within the facility are first when it comes to their research.
So what we're developing here is innovation to advance aquaponics industry. So some of the things that you see here are first. We are leading in aquaponics.
The aquaponics department is always working on new projects and looking for new innovative ways to further their research in aquaponics.
Next month we find out if we get a new greenhouse, and we're starting a new project in phase 2. They're just gathering in more wild fish, so that's a brand new project.
Aquaponics is essentially a zero-waste agriculture that does not require soil. Lethbridge College has an attached greenhouse that provides students the opportunity to learn how to grow a variety of vegetables, herbs, and water plants. The aquaponics program plans to continue its research and is striving to maintain its reputation as a renowned program in Canada.
Did they say why they need a new greenhouse?
They need a new greenhouse to provide more space for staff and students to conduct new research projects within the future.
Thanks, Chase.
The Lethbridge Fire Department hosted firefighters from all over the province this week. Volunteer and career firefighters alike had the chance to sharpen their rescue skills with some hands-on training. Skylar Peters has the story.
Firefighters from towns and counties across Alberta descended on Lethbridge this week for rigorous training. The Southern Alberta Fire Training Conference is held annually in the city. The conference includes classroom sessions, guest speakers, and hands-on training. Coaldale Fire Chief Kevin McEwen organized this year's event. He says that the conference is even attracting departments from the northern part of the province as well.
We have fire departments from all over the province that come down. A lot from southern Alberta, but we are seeing some departments upwards from Lacombe and around Edmonton area come down.
The hands-on training element this year was a flashover simulator. A flashover happens when all of the air inside a confined space reaches its ignition point. It is commonplace in most large house fires. A custom-made shipping container simulates the dangerous occurrence, so firefighters know what to expect in real life. Flashovers usually happen around 500 degrees Celsius. They are not survivable by firefighters. This makes knowing the signs critical in case an evacuation is necessary.
They get to see fire progress, learn about fire dynamics and fire behavior, learn what the warning signs of a flashover look like, and how water affects fire.
The flashover simulator is one of the many options available at Station 4 for training firefighters. Others include rappelling, car fires, propane fires, and ignition points. For eNEWS, I'm Skylar.
Station 4 in Lethbridge is also building a dedicated training space for classroom and hands-on instruction. Coming up after the break, we'll introduce you to Kodiak's cross-country running star, Sophia Nowicki, and we'll focus on Kodiak's men's basketball rookie sensation, Lincoln Anderson.
I'm bored. What can I do to fill this time in my life? Visit the Downtown BRZ events page online to see what's happening in Lethbridge.
Adopting cats was the best decision of my life. This is Rosie, and this is Grey Cat. Wonderful personalities of their own. They provide me with joy and love every day. Rosie here will do anything for a fresh bowl of food. While Grey plays in the yard most of the time, she'd rather be outside than inside. They really get along with my other animals, especially my dog Cody. We don't always get along, but sometimes you just gotta put them together.
Adopt a cat today at the Last Chance Cat Ranch.
Crime Stoppers and the Lethbridge Police Service need your help in solving a theft and assault. At approximately 11:30 on January 8th at iWorld in Park Place Mall, a group of 4 teens grabbed iPhones and ran out of the store. The suspects include 3 black males and 1 Latino man, as shown in these surveillance photos. Two iWorld employees gave chase out of the mall to the south and into an alley behind Josie's. One of the suspects produced a can of pepper spray and sprayed one of the iWorld employees. If you have any information on this or any crime, please contact Crime Stoppers by any of these methods. Standard message and data rates may apply. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 for information leading to an arrest. Remember, you will not have to attend court or testify, and you will remain anonymous. We want your information, not your name.
Welcome back. 4 races into the season, and Sophia Nowicki of the Lethbridge College Kodiak's women's cross-country running team remains undefeated. She's the star of the women's team that sits 3rd overall in national rankings as it heads into the weekend's conference championship. I went down to practice to talk to the star runner myself.
Finish nice and solid.
Encouragement is all around the track as Sophia Nowicki and the rest of the women's cross-country running team prepare to head to provincials. Nowicki has been running since junior high. Throughout high school, she considered running a hobby and didn't think it would end up becoming a passion. She actually made her choice on where to go after high school based on her love for the sport.
It was kind of between here or MRU, and you can't run at MRU, and luckily here I'm able to run. So I went with this because I was able to run, and it has a really good nursing program.
The cross-country team trains 5 days a week, running at various locations around Lethbridge. The next race for Nowicki is this weekend coming up. The team will be traveling to Vermilion to compete in the Alberta Colleges Athletic Conference provincial competition.
It's a really fun course too, and there's a lot of hills. To me, it's just running a smart race.
For Nowicki, running a smart race means capitalizing on the training she got running in high school.
Just kind of like pacing myself behind the girls, and I know that I have like a really good kick and they don't at the end. That's my advantage over them.
Last year, Nowicki made it to nationals in Quebec. She placed 3rd. She was 5 seconds behind the second place runner and only 19 seconds behind the first place runner. She's hoping to improve on those stats this year.
Well, she has the experience, she has the competitiveness, she wants to do well. So I think she's a perfectionist in that way.
Johansson says having Nowicki on the team is pushing the other girls to do better on their times as well. The team will head to Vermilion this weekend for the ACAC Championships. If Nowicki places in the top 3 in the provincial competition, she'll move on to nationals in Grand Prairie in early November.
On the men's side, the Kodiaks will be joining their female colleagues at the ACAC Cross Country Championships this weekend. As I found out, the men are expecting to medal this time round after coming so close last year. The men's cross-country team is expecting some of its best performances of the season this weekend at the ACACs. The team is a relatively small one, with only 5 members this season, but they are ranked 13th in the CCAA national rankings. Coming off a 4th place finish in the ACAC Grand Prix of the season, they hope that they are ready to surprise the competition at the championships. Coach Simon Charez believes it is the team's ability to work together as a close-knit group that will set them apart.
Okay. Yeah, so for cross country, we always have smaller teams, right? So our teams, especially on the men's side, is comprised of 5 athletes. So they really have no choice but to work very closely together. And they are a very, very cohesive unit. And it's been like that from the very start. And I don't expect that to change. And I think that cohesion will make the difference at the end. Provincials this weekend when we try to move into 3rd.
At last year's ACAC Championships, the men's team tied for 3rd, but after losing a tiebreaker, dropped to 4th place. This year, they are hoping to medal. One of the athletes, Connor Jackson, hopes that the team's familiarity with the course will help them beat out their competition.
Guys have worked quite hard. I think we've been training for, a lot of us, a few months for this Saturday, which we're having a race down in Vermilion. We've done this course before, so hopefully we know the course and we're going to be ready to do it on this Saturday. It's a more difficult course, but a lot of our team is really tough, so I'm hoping that we are going to be able to tough through this course, but again, there's going to be
For those interested in supporting the Kodiaks, the men team runs their 8-kilometer race at Lakeland College this Saturday.
Still with Kodiak's athletics, the men's basketball team features 7 new faces this year. Among them is rookie guard Lincoln Anderson, who's in his 2nd year of college ball, but his 1st year at the Kodiaks. Seth Slomp reports.
The crowd roars as the former CIS basketball player, now a Kodiak,
dunks over the St. Trojan defender. Lincoln Anderson says he has been playing basketball for as long as he can remember. He says his biggest accomplishment so far is winning a provincial title with Cardston High School in grades 11 and 12, where he also won league MVP.
Provincials is definitely a highlight for sure, like winning provincials in high school. That was a great time for sure.
Anderson first played post-secondary ball for the Grant MacEwen Griffins in the CIS last year. He averaged 7 points per game, 2.9 rebounds per game, and had a 28% three-point percentage. The second-year guard and forward believes having CIS experience will serve him well as he usually towers over ACAC opponents.
It's a lot easier when you drive into the paint. You're not shooting over 6'10" guys for the most part, so it's different in a lot of ways, but I feel like my experience at the CIS level helps me quite a bit.
Throughout the preseason, Anderson believes he scored the game well, but will need to work on ball defense, and he explains with a coach who is in your face when he needs to be will help him improve his game. Head coach Ryan Hagee says he wanted Anderson 3 years ago, but only landed him 6 months ago. Hagee is impressed with Anderson's skills.
He's a scoring threat. He's a rebounding threat when he wants to be. He's a defensive threat.
Hagee explains it's not just his offensive and defensive abilities that he will bring to the team, but his will to win.
He loves to win. He loves playing the game, so that's infectious, right? Because we got to get guys. Everybody's got to love basketball.
You know, our team's great. Like, I love our team a lot. We have really good chemistry. We all work together really well. It's a lot of fun guys to play with. Yeah, I couldn't ask for anything better from teammates, for sure.
Seth Slomp, eNEWS, Lethbridge.
Anderson has already earned himself one Player of the Game honor. That happened in the Kodiak's home opener against the St. Trojans. You can see the Kodiak's men's and women's basketball team take on Medicine Hat tomorrow night at the Val Mattioti Gymnasium. The women's game is at 6 o'clock. The men's game follows at 8. Coming up next, we take you to a place that provides year-round Halloween entertainment. It's called Creepy Hollow. And speaking of Halloween and the supernatural, we'll introduce you to the West Canadian Paranormal Society.
The Lethbridge Food Bank is here to help families and those in need. Life can be hard and people deserve a helping hand. They help approximately 700 households each month. That's over 50,000 pounds of food. Now more than ever, the Lethbridge Food Bank is in need of your donations. They even accept perishables, including meat and milk. Donate today and help the people in your community.
Volunteer Lethbridge is there to help you give back to the community. Volunteering is there to help you get more experience if you're lacking the skills department on your resume. We have many opportunities to volunteer, keeping you busy all year to be a staple in the Lethbridge community. Volunteer opportunities include kitchen cleaning, vision mates, Meals on Wheels drivers, community board members, cleaning and maintenance, voice drive, and so much more. Volunteer Lethbridge located on 324 5th Street South. Office is located in the Penny Building.
Crime Stoppers and the Lethbridge Police Service need your help in solving a theft. On January 16th, in the 700 block of 13th Street South, witnesses saw a young male suspect steal an elderly woman's purse and flee on his bicycle. The young man is described as a white male, 4'6", with a skinny build. He was wearing a dark hoodie and dark pants, as well as wearing a backpack. If you have any information on this crime, please contact Crime Stoppers by any of these methods. Standard message and data rates may apply. Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 for information leading to an arrest. Remember, you will not have to attend court or testify, and you will remain anonymous. We want your information, not your name.
Welcome back. The spooks are in for this year's Halloween activities. You may not be aware, but one of the more popular Halloween destinations, Creepy Hollow, is actually open year-round. It's the pride of the Reimer family, which previously owned the Sterling Haunted Mansion. Dean Huffman reports.
Creepy Hollow is open for business and just in time for Halloween. The haunted house was built from the ground up by the Rainier family. They've owned and operated this location for over 4 years. The family claims that it's a labor of love to keep building on the mansion. This is not the first time the Rainiers have produced a spooky location. Previously, they owned the Sterling Haunted Mansion. It has been operated by the Rainier family for 15 years. Now named Creepy Hollow, the business moved due to a lack of space 4 years ago. One of the owners, Glory Rainier, said moving was necessary for the new ideas they have for the village, railroad, and haunted house.
We felt like we outgrew our little village and we needed somewhere bigger to expand and be able to use our imagination and go crazy, so we've really been enjoying it out here.
The new site is 20 acres, and according to Rainier, they have many new ideas to make Creepy Hollow bigger and better.
You know, the imagination's unlimited, the space is limited, right? So
the Monster Hall is also used for murder mystery nights that are hosted upon request.
The establishment is also home to a permanent maze, campground, and mini railway. October, they host Fright Nights on Friday and Saturdays at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. I'm Dean Huffman for eNEWS.
For information on times, events, and bookings, visit the Creepy Hollow website at hauntedmansionsterling.com.
Halloween is the time of year where people tell stories and tales of spirits more often. For one Lethbridge group, the paranormal is a year-round business and staff do so much more than just talk about spirits. Riley McCormick is standing by with more. Riley?
The West Canadian Paranormal Society is a relatively new group in town. They've been doing investigations around Lethbridge, southern Alberta, and beyond. I had a chance to go with them on a recent investigation.
My name is Ben, and I'm a paranormal researcher. I'm here to interact with anybody.
A local man has turned his interest in the paranormal into a business which some may find a little spooky. Founded 3 years ago, the West Canadian Paranormal Society has since expanded their investigations. With thousands of dollars worth of equipment, they are determined to find and in some cases eliminate paranormal activity. They have a YouTube channel and a show on Shaw's Public Access channel showcasing their investigations. They currently have a team of 7 and go on investigations when people contact them about spooky activity in their house. The group was founded by Ben Martin, now the lead investigator for the team. He started the Paranormal Society as a hobby before it grew into making its own investigation videos. Martin explains his first experience with the paranormal.
My mother, unbeknownst to her at the time, had moved into a home that had been plagued with a rather nasty homicide, and I remember being very, very young and being terrified because I saw these shadowy figures standing in the room, looming over top of my crib, and I was just, at that point in my life, I wouldn't really know what it was.
He has an affinity to history and storytelling, and says it meshes well with his interest in the paranormal. They've recorded strange phenomena on audio.
What's it gonna be? Rum? Rye?
And on video as well.
To the projection booth, inexplicably swings open by itself as shown in the video here.
No, I did not.
Supervising producer for the team, Thomas Stone, says he misses some of the phenomena until he starts to edit the footage.
Sometimes you can see things captured on the camera that you couldn't see with a naked eye on location. And when I see something, I go into the settings and I don't alter anything. I simply enhance it and see if we got anything. And sometimes there's a challenge with that. The brain wants to see something that isn't there. So I'm always on guard for that.
Stone has been a skeptic most of his life until he began working with Martin on the investigations. The West Canadian Paranormal Society has done 15 recorded investigations and has over 40 videos on their YouTube channel documenting their findings.
And what are the group's plans going forward?
They're currently in production of their 3rd season for their show and plan to continue to do investigations throughout the winter.
Thanks, Riley. Do you believe in ghosts, Paige?
I don't know if I believe in ghosts per se, but I definitely believe that like a bad enough event can leave a negative impact in a place. How about you?
Absolutely, I do, and I'm pretty sure my parents' house is haunted. But that's all the time we have for eNEWS today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.